The concept and all of the contact to the architects and the research about looking into how architecture has actually developed the progressive modernism in Australia. That was a concept of Dr. Claudia Perrin, who's a German architect and has been teaching architectural theory in Sydney for the last 2 years. So the idea was to show on a broader base internationally, starting in Berlin, because Berlin is one of the center points of Europe, to show the development of modern architecture in Australia by starting here. The exhibition will be traveling around Europe.
The country is large and spread out, and the works are indicative of the different climatic conditions in different parts of the country. I also have a project. It's a house close to the ocean. It's on a site that is full of trees, and the house responds to this. The walls of the house are very vertical, responding to the verticality of the trees, and the house opens to two directions: to the south to the ocean, to the view, and to the north to the sunshine.
The work that we're looking at in this exhibition is actually quite special because it's a collection of architects that are predominantly focusing on housing. And that's a big thing in Australia. 95% of people essentially live outside of the cities in small-scale single residential housing, whilst the other minority live in the cities. But what each of these architects are really trying to explore is the potential of place and the potential of a culture. So what we're seeing is different ways in which architects are interpreting the culture of a place, the climatic concerns of a place, and how modernism adapts to issues of culture and lifestyle and climate. Okay. The work of Ardell Peterson Hook is focused around two major areas. One is the entire state of Western Australia, and the other is the city of Melbourne and the periphery of Melbourne. So when we talk about the entire state of Western Australia, that means working in every single desert in Western Australia, as well as the suburbs and the city. And a lot of our work is really about the exploration of how we find appropriate forms of accommodation that can work in those different locations and cultures. So responding to Indigenous lifestyle and culture, which is a very difficult thing to understand, but at the same time it's a very important thing to understand.
Sustainability is now a very big issue, as it is globally, and we can't ignore that. It's only now becoming an issue of importance in Germany and Europe. It has already been on the agenda for many years. In Australia, we've been a bit behind the 8 ball. So now the government and the individuals are starting to realise that we can't continue our holiday forever, and we need to be responsible global citizens. And therefore, the architecture that we do must respond to these issues. It's not a romantic view of the past, it's not a romantic view of the landscape, but it's an issue of how we contribute to the improvement of the quality of life, not just in Australia but throughout the rest of the world.
What happens then?